Daddy told me when I was young. He said it's a long road you've begun. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's hard. As you walk the road, remember who you are. You gotta roll with the punches, you gotta aim to hit the mark. You gotta follow your hunches, try to finish what you start. And when you come to the crossroads, you're deciding in the dark. You've gotta listen to the whisper of your heart.
Hello, I'm Lisa Smith here on Southern Exposure. What a great motivational lead-in that we had from Mary Ellen Broome. She is the music coordinator for Floyd Medical Center's Arts and Medicine program. Thank you for leading us in.
You're welcome.
What a beautiful song. Did you write that?
No, actually I did not.
Well, it's lovely. I liked it a lot. Now, of course, this is a program that we've had a chance to interview you about before, the Arts and Medicine. Yes. And of course, you know, there's so many different facets now in medicine for the certain healing properties that they produce. And of course, arts is definitely playing a role in that. Yes. Now, this is a 5-year-old program. Tell us a little bit about how this program started with in Rome here at Floyd.
Well, there is a growing movement in our country that art promotes healing. So it is a program that is developed out of that particular belief. That's it in a nutshell. Art promotes healing. So we bring all kinds of art. We bring visual arts. We bring literary art, we bring musical art. So we bring all of the arts, performing arts, into the walls of our hospital to help promote the healing of our patients, reduce the stress of our staff, and to also help the morale and boost the good feelings within families that are visiting these patients.
And what kind of stories have you been told from patients that they've shared with you because they are able to experience the arts during their healing process?
I have experienced so many wonderful stories from patients themselves, from their family members that are sitting by their bedsides. I could go on for hours about that. But in particular, I've had patients tell me their favorite stories from Scripture and tell me that my music has inspired them and made them feel at home spiritually. And I have had patients tell me that I made their day.
Oh, that's got to be a good feel for you.
It is. Oh, it's a wonderful job, and I can't call it work. but it's a wonderful volunteer program, too. A lot of people, I hate to fall into that cliche that says, oh, it's so rewarding, but it really makes you feel good when you do this for patient, for families, and for the staff members. But I've also had surgical patients saying, oh, I've got to have surgery this afternoon, and boy, you made my day. You really made me feel good. I'm going to be okay.
No, that's neat.
I hear so many wonderful comments from patients.
Now, you mentioned that this is underneath your volunteer umbrella at Floyd Medical Center, and so tell us a little bit about how that actually works, and if we have folks that are watching today that think, oh, this is a great way that I can give back my art form to really have meaning, and you know, that always works both ways. When you're giving, you're also receiving.
Well, I would love to have viewers that are watching this say, oh yes, I would like to volunteer for Arts and Medicine because it is a truly wonderful program. But you're right, it falls under the umbrella of our volunteer services, which we have a lot of volunteer services at Floyd Medical Center. Our volunteers are so important to us, and they do such wonderful things. We have the auxiliary volunteers. We have youth programs, medical youth. We have summer youth. We have First Steps, and they help in the labor and delivery departments, and they help with the new moms. And then you have Arts and Medicine, and which is, of course, my favorite. But Arts and Medicine is unique under our volunteer services umbrella because it is the only volunteer service at Floyd Medical Center where you can get actual patient contact. Oh. So, and the other programs, you are helping a great deal you're escorting people, you're helping with office work, you're helping with everything, you're working in the gift shop. But only in arts and medicine can you get actual patient contact. And so it's a great volunteer program for medical students to come. And you don't have to be a musician to volunteer for arts and medicine. So
now, what type of art genres are you in need of for folks to be thinking, okay, well, I can do that?
Well, we have what we call an art cart. You've probably heard of the art cart. It is a utility cart that's brightly painted, and it is filled with every arts and crafts supply you can imagine, from modeling clay, crayons, markers, colored pencils. We've done sand art before. We do, of course, popsicle stick art. That's a classic. You must have it. I don't think we've had macaroni art on it yet. But
I'm thinking that sand art may be a little dangerous in the bed, but anyway, go ahead.
We can try that. So volunteers push this art cart. Well, that doesn't mean they have to have a master's degree in oil or acrylic, but they can push this art cart and they wheel it right into the room and they say, hey, would you like to create something today? And they stand there with the patient and they talk and they have a good visit and they show them how to do the project, and they'll even leave projects with them when they leave, so they'll have something to do later. So that's one thing that we do. We've had a magician on board before who would go in and give little miniature magic shows, and he would even do them in Spanish, which was really neat for our Hispanic patients.
That's neat.
So we've had jugglers, storytellers. We do have a creative writer in the ranks who goes in and sits down and visits with you and helps you tell your story. She helps you reminisce about things that have happened in your life, and she helps you to write them down. We do have an artist, a very skilled artist on board, and she goes in. Sometimes she'll push the art cart, but a lot of times she'll just take her own materials in and teach you how to do some basket weaving. And she teaches how to paint watercolor. So she teaches some very
specific
skilled
skills,
techniques, yes.
Now, I know you also have a beautiful atrium in the new, as all the configuration happened with the hospital and turning it into a different entry and a different way to get there and more parking. Now, you have concerts.
Yes, we do.
And how's the concert series going?
The concert series is fine. We have all kinds of different genres in that lobby. We have bluegrass, we have jazz, we have country, we have gospel. So we cover the whole scale of musical genres within our walls. We welcome all of it. In our lobby, it is a gorgeous place. It's beautiful. If you haven't seen it, you really should stop by just to see it. Beautiful planters and fountains in the atrium, round glass atrium where you can see outside, and on a beautiful day like today, that's a bonus. And of course we have our grand piano in the lobby, which is one of my favorite things. But it's a beautiful instrument, it's a pleasure to play, and we welcome all pianists to just stop and play. They don't have to schedule it with me, they don't even have to stop at the front desk. There's a piano log right on the piano where they can just sign and say, I was here, just like Kirby. You can just say, I was here. And that's easy. And I welcome all pianists, even children, as long as they really play. I'm banging on it. But
no chopsticks or heart and soul.
Well, yeah.
Unless it's done eloquently.
But I will tolerate Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star or Hot Cross Buns.
Oh, that's always a good
one. We'll have those if they want. But also we have our art gallery wall. And that's a nice curved, I think it's a 48-foot gallery. And we feature about, for 6 weeks, an individual artist, local artists, display their paintings and their productions on our wall. In March, we will be celebrating National Youth Art Month, and we will have youth artists on the wall. We will have high school, middle school, and elementary art on our art gallery wall for that month.
Now, is that geared for the local artist?
It is.
Okay.
It is for the local artists. We work closely with RACA, and we try to get their artists involved. And what they do is they submit a portfolio, pictures or slides, or, well, I don't guess they do slides anymore. I guess most people do CDs. I'm dating myself, aren't I? But they submit their portfolio, and we do have a committee that goes through it and determines if it fits our atmosphere, because what we want to do is promote healing. So we want
happiness.
Yes, we want art. But we've had some amazing things on that art wall. Let me tell you about one we had several months ago. And let me see if I get this name right. I think her name was Erin Worsham. And if I'm not mistaken, she's from Tennessee, Chattanooga area. And she is diagnosed with ALS. And it's the Lou Gehrig syndrome, which is a nervous system problem. But she displayed on our wall, she was an active artist before she was diagnosed, and then as she became ill, she decided, I want to remain an artist. So she switched over to digital art on the computer, and her art was brightly colored, and she stayed with heavy pixels, beautiful, beautiful stuff. And I was so inspired by it, and I was leading children's choirs through, and I'd stop and tell them the same story I'm telling you. What was so cool is that she had this computer program that helped her move the mouse with her eyebrows.
Amazing.
And so she would put almost 600 hours into one painting.
Oh, wow.
So she's a living example of
inspiration.
not giving up, not giving in to a disability, but remaining productive, remaining active. And that to me just was exactly right for our wall.
Oh, that's a great story, powerful. And what a great contribution for other patients to hear that story and know that there's always a light.
There is always a light. And in arts and medicine, sometimes we love to be that light.
You know, and you may be the only highlight in their whole day, you know, with some of the diagnoses that are out there and some of the procedures that folks have to go through.
That's true. And you know, some of those procedures that they go through, needle sticks, testing, you get poked and you get prodded, and sometimes we're right there. I'm right there. I stay there for the procedure and play music and hum, and I think that helps decrease their pain during the procedure. So we do those kind of things too.
That's why dentists give you those headphones now, so you can listen to music instead of the drills. I mean, I think there's definitely a connect. You know, there's been a long science and a lot of arguing about, okay, does it really stimulate the mind and make you, you know, broader based? And I mean, it's showing that there is definitely a connection.
There have been a lot of studies on the benefits of art in a medical setting. And what it does is it changes a clinical, austere setting to something more, to kinder, friendlier environment. And it does affect the clinical, it affects the vitals. It can lower blood pressure, it can lower heart rate, it can relax you so that you can rest and your body can heal itself. Study after study has proven this, even to the depth that in music certain wavelengths work better than others. So they've really gotten into the heart of these studies, and I don't think there's too much argument out there anymore whether art does any good in a healing environment. It does.
Well, congratulations for being able to bring such a progressive program to Rome, Georgia, and of course sharing that with the many patients. I'm curious, do you have a foot traffic count on a daily basis or a weekly basis through the atrium or through that gallery?
I don't actually know of a foot traffic count. There may be one. I've never conducted one myself. However, we do have to do documentation within our jobs, and when I document how many people we perform to whenever we perform in the lobby, it is at least 100, say for a 30-minute, a 30-minute to 45-minute performance.
You know,
well, see, we're right there next to the cafeteria too, and that's a heavy traffic area. So it's.
But you know, you think of 100 people, 30 minutes. How many 30 minutes are in a day? I mean, that's fairly great. That's wonderful exposure for especially artists, up and coming artists, people who are wanting to get their work out, or people who are wanting to share their art form. And what a great way to do this. If you're interested in sharing whatever art form you have, or if you just have a passion and a love for the arts, like many of us who can't play anything besides the radio, then this gives you an opportunity to be able to give back. And you can get involved by, Mary Ellen, what would they do? Who do they call to see how they can be of service to this program?
They would call Floyd Medical Center, ask for the Arts and Medicine program. I can give you the phone number. It's on this right down here. It is 509-5784. So they can call us there and say, I want more information about your Arts and Medicine program. I'd like to volunteer. What can I do? And also, we have an arts referral line. So if you ever have a friend or a family member in the hospital, then tell your nurse that I would like an art visit. I want an art referral. Give me an art visit. And they have a line that they can call, and they say, patient so-and-so in room so-and-so wants an art visit. And then we go there. We go right there. We respond to those requests.
How wonderful. And of course, you can also go on the website at www.floyd.org and find out more about the Arts in Medicine program offered at Floyd Medical Center. And of course, Mary Ellen, it's always good to have a program with you, because I know that I'm also going to be absolutely the wonderful recipient of your voice. So if you don't mind, will you take us out with another song?
Sure.
And I'm Lisa Smith here today on Southern Exposure. We've been talking about the Arts and Medicine program. This is a flyer that you can pick up at Floyd Medical that tells you all about the different programs they offer. And keep in mind, if you're going to be a patient at Floyd Medical, that this is a service that is offered free of charge to you. If you're a blooming artist and you would like to get in on the gallery, you can still contact the website or the phone number. Thanks, and have a great week. And we hope that if you have an art form you would like to share, or just a love for the arts, this is a great way for you to volunteer. Mary Ellen Broome.
Thank you so much. Said make it a practice to be true. When push comes down to shove, it's up to you to keep believing in your dream, and to sing a song if you got a song to sing. You gotta roll with the punches, you gotta aim to hit the mark, you gotta follow your hunches, try to finish what you start. And when you come to the crossroads, you're deciding in the dark, you gotta listen to the whisper of your heart. You gotta listen to the whisper of your heart.
Beautiful. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks.